Okay, I've posed this just so, in the hope that anyone who sees it, who's into this sort of stuff, has a clue immediately. A clue about what it is that I propose to do. This is a cable that would ordinarily connect a joystick up on a Commodore 64, an Amiga, and so on and so on and so on. Brand new. And this is a Competition Pro USB joystick. And it is my hope, I haven't opened it yet, it is my hope that from this I can obtain two useful items. One, the conversion of a brand new joystick into a joystick that I can use on old computers, because fun. But also, I hope that the PCB in here with the USB cable on it can be put into a separate external box so that I can use any vintage computer joystick on a PC. Unboxing. Right, I gotta get this video right now. There's no restarts. So this comes with, yeah, a download voucher for, these are quite cheap, 45 Australian pesos, thereabouts. These come with a code for downloading some emulation software to play games on a PC. Last time I got one of these, this is my second one, I lost the code, so hooray, I can give that a shot if I can be bothered. Oh, I like that. Woo. Little. So, how do we get this apart? Hang on while I look at the screws. Oh, joy, they look like they're just standard Phillips head screws. So, the screwdriver of destiny. It was a friend of mine and I called them back in the day when we decided that it was time. Oh, no, not PH2, must be PH1. Back in the day when we decided that we both needed a good magnetic screwdriver to work on PCs that we didn't wreck while working on our cars, and we both bought screwdrivers. That was mine. It was, I don't know, 25 years ago. And it's still in service. Oh, it's got a rapid fire switch on. Ooh, I wonder if that'll be a separate circuit. That'd be nice if I could maintain that. Or maybe I could just take the switch if it's on its own PCB and rig up a rapid fire circuit all of my own. Somewhere I actually do have some little module boards from eBay with little square wave oscillators on them for something I haven't yet finished, and they theoretically could be a great rapid fire circuit. I'll just find a frequency at which the Amiga and the 64 are happy to recognise it without it being too fast. It had a little trim pot on them, and I think the duty cycle as well, which may allow things to go even faster, but it all depends. It could be a single PCB in here. I don't know what's in here, but listen. Sounds good micro switchy, but it could just be like little dome switches on a PCB, in which case any proposal to convert this joystick will be severely hampered, because I'll be trying to, well, I won't be able to pull out the PCB, I'll just have to kind of disable the whole USB bit, I think, and try and tie into the PCB, but I'm gonna hope that I'm lucky. It does appear that I've got this loose. I'm starting to wonder if maybe there's a maybe there are additional screws under one of these buttons, under the front, not front buttons. Sorry, I'm concentrating. Under these feet on the front, there may well be screws, because it seems happy to come apart at the back, but not at the front. The front's stuck fast. I should add, there's some good news. The no, there's no screw under there. Ah, here we go. You're all shouting at me over the internet, I bet. That's a shame. I can always super glue that back on though if it tries to get loose on me. Shouting at me under the white sticker, under the white quality sticker. I should have plugged in and made sure it worked before we... should be right. Dave Jones would be proud of me. Don't turn it on. Tear it apart. Oh. Alright. We'll just get this screw out of this hole so I don't lose it, and bingo! Look at that. Eminently moddable. So, it seems... well, that's properly micro switched. Looks like there's melt there. They've just melted the casing and the switch with a soldering iron. I wonder if that was to stop it wobbling. I wonder if that was to stop it wobbling, or if it was a standard faux pas, or something else was soldered. But this is, there's nothing about this that isn't moddable. I mean, that PCB there has the rapid fire switch on it and the USB controller, and there's the USB heading off from it, which is hot snotted down, so that comes out of there. That's easy. And then this is that a plug? It looks for all the world like a plug. It doesn't appear to be glued in place, because of course what I'm going to want to do is get all of the colours back to this PCB, and that way I won't have to worry about what goes where when I make my Commodore joystick to PC adapter. Oh, it's marked on the PCB. You can see, I'm just going to show you that in the camera. Oh, I got my glasses off, so now I can't see the screen, so I don't know if it's in focus. Oh, old age. Focus. Maybe not. There we go. You should be able to see just near that purple bluey wire there, it says IT. Well, I guarantee there's an R back there, so that says right. So that's good. I've also been wondering about these switches here. My plan is to make those standard fire buttons, and to make probably just this one, the alt fire. I found when using these joysticks with my hand set up, at least I bump this one accidentally sometimes. I can't quite see, but they appear to just be little switches down there. Yeah, they are. They're just little switches down there. So this is This is eminently moddable. I don't fully understand this. I think what it is, interestingly, and I'm going to have to think about how I proceed given what I think this is, it appears to be it appears to be a socket, like, so that you can plug a plug into here, but rather than build this out with a plug and a socket, you got to buy the plug then for the socket. PCB was probably designed that way, but some bright spark said, well, can we just connect the wires into the back of it, into the back of the crimp terminals for the socket, and save ourselves a whole part, because that looks to me for all the world like it could. But if that's the case and I can buy one of those fellows, then I'm going to have a real hard think about exactly how I deal with this PCB. But there's no doubt, there is no doubt though, that at this stage of the game, what I could do is just snip all of those off with my snips, take this USB controller away, put it in a box at a later time, move this switch to the outside, just, you know, tie in the bottom of it so I can have a toggle switch on the outside, or a momentary action switch on the outside for the rapid fire, and then tie all of these into the end of that cable that I showed earlier on. And what I'm also hoping is that I was lucky enough so that the relief in the plastic here match. Yeah, look at that, it's very close. The relief in this joystick thing expects this to be round, not square inside the... Oh, hang on, no, that's round on the bottom. Look at that, it is the right part. I don't know, you probably can't see that, but this strain relief, this inside part of this strain relief is flat there and then has a radius on the other side. So if I'm lucky, I can drop that radius in there. Yeah, I think it's a slightly different radius. Yeah, it is. It's slightly different, but with a little bit of work with the round file. Or is it just that it's the back of it getting hooked up? That might be it actually. I think maybe even just with a little bit of heat on this rubber, I'll be able to clamp that straight in, and no one will ever know this was formerly a USB joystick, save for the fact that the position for the toggle switch on the back, where it says rapid fire, won't do anything. But it would also seem that I can get a little sliding switch for that location and just hot glue it into place and then run it through to a little PCB of my own design to enable rapid fire in there. So look, I was thinking out loud. As you can see, the box is still sealed. This is all brand new to me. What I've ascertained, I think, is that these are without a doubt a really fast route to a properly made, like properly molded plastic rather than 3D printed, fully micro switched retro joystick. I can't see how it can go wrong. I can pick up everything individually, and I can desolder all this from these contacts, or I can just go in here. I'm really excited about that. It one of those things that looks like it's on track to work out just as well as I hoped it would. I mean, yeah, they must all get supported. This is oh yeah, this must ride on this. That post must ride on that, because yeah, the whole lot was starting to move around a little bit. But there can't be anything about replacing this, I don't think, which lives, you know, off on there, that affects the mechanical characteristics of this thing. I just have to make sure I'm well clear of all the pinch points and wire it up, I'd say. Look, I was wondering if I might do a follow-up video or actually show this wired up, but I mean, use your imagination. There's not a lot left to show. The important bit is that the inside of these is pretty straightforward, and that the access to the USB controller for like a little project box with a DB9 mail on it is a piece of cake. I mean, back in the day I made essentially one of these converters that went from Commodore 64 to game port, PC game ports, and it had I did it on breadboard following an online guide, and it worked. And what it did was it took the PC is always expected an analog joystick, and it took the digital clicks from a regular joystick and converted them into full value analog input values, which then the emulators would pick up and figure out what to do with it. But instead of you had click 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 like you're supposed to, and you could use vintage joysticks. You know, the analog PC joysticks were terrible for playing a platform game, because you know they were great for playing X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, but they were no good for PC games. Anyway, my mouth runneth over, but like I say, this is Benjamin's Bench. If you want something with great production values and less musing and ranting and on-the-fly discovery, you're in the wrong place. But this is very promising. I don't know how economical it'll be. It's a little bit of work. I mean, the pinouts are easy to find online. It's a little bit of work, but it's not even a huge amount of work. You know, it's a nice kind of easy, safe afternoon soldering project, I think. I reserve the right to be proven wrong, but I think it is. And the result is not only a brand new DB9 micro switched brand new DB9 joystick with, you know, really nice injection molded, I assume, plastics and nice texture down here and so on, but also, at least for the first one that's made, a USB dealie for a second project to allow the use of vintage sticks under emulation. And I might add, this stick as it is great under emulation on FSUAE at least. It's spot on. I was really impressed. But yeah, you know, these aren't expensive if you shop around. These ones are from AliExpress. I bought a few of them, but both to fix these and also to repair old joysticks. And actually, that's worth talking about just before I end this video. You'll often see old joysticks with the cable wrapped around and around the handle, and when you do that, the outside conductors have to get stretched more than the inside conductors, and oftentimes a joystick that's broken is because there's an internal break in the joystick cable. So with older sticks and stuff that I really like I've got a couple of totally accurate controllers, and one of them I had to replace the cable, and I pillaged one from a miserable old joystick that had a decent cable, but it would have been far better to have used one of these. I just didn't have them at the time, and it's actually amazing how much nicer the PVC is on a brand new cable compared to a crusty one from the 90s. Anyway, great stuff, and a fun project that doesn't involve high-tech surface mount soldering and extensive testing, and it was I need something fun and simple and effective, and this appears to be it. There we go.